Hey, Divine Ones, and welcome to another episode of my Facebook Live show. Um, it is Sunday, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to continue to do these on Sunday. At least try to have it be frequently and regularly on Sundays. I wasn't able to come to you last Sunday because I was on a personal retreat in Florida, taking some time to kind of anchor in the energy of the new year. I usually try to do that every January of a new year, is try to take a trip somewhere, a retreat for myself somewhere. And also, I was at a retreat with an organization that I just truly love, that really nourishes and feeds my soul. So I was there last Sunday, so I couldn't really do a show last week. I was there actually for a week, so I couldn't do a show last week. So I was out of commission, but I'm excited to be here with you today. I got some good stuff to talk with you about. And also, just to know, I had blanked out for a second, just to know that, hey, everybody joining. Just to know, let you know again that the shows will be on Sunday. I also have a lot of stuff coming up. I've got some classes coming up, an online class coming up. I've got some live workshops coming up. I've also got just a lot of juicy stuff coming up that I'll be announcing here, but as well as on my newsletter. So if you're not in my newsletter already, please sign up. I know some of you all are like, I'm signed up and I've never gotten anything. Yes, because I hadn't sent anything. I think I did a video earlier this year telling you why I hadn't really been on the newsletter stuff yet. But I am sending one out next week. My first one of the year will be going out next week, and you'll be getting them weekly from then on. But so today I wanted to talk to you about something. If you know, you know, I'm Jerome Braggs. My work is really to teach you how to self-love your way there. And by there, I mean to the healing you desire for your body or your life, the transformation you desire for your body or your life, or the manifestation you desire. Whatever you desire, whether you want to manifest something, you want to transform something, you want to heal something, loving yourself is the key to it. Not just the key that unlocks it, but it's literally the path to it. It's when you journey the path of self-love, you will literally get to that destination of the healing you desire, the transformation you desire, or the manifestation of whatever you desire. And so I wanted to kind of dive a little deeper into that. Because that's really what I learned, not just in my near-death experience, but in the healing journey that followed my near-death experience. But I want to talk to you a little bit about something that was told to me in my near-death experience and what I learned about it. Because a lot of what I was told and shown in my near-death experience, I didn't have a really deep understanding of it at that time. The understanding of it came through my life experiences and the many different healing experiences that I had in the years after that. And one of the things that was told to me when I had my near-death experience, and if you're just new to me, or even if you've been following me for a while and you don't know a lot about it, you can check my YouTube channel and check some past videos. I've talked a lot about my near-death experience and some of the things that have come up from that in detail. So I want to, so I don't want to go into detail about my near-death experience, but one of the things that was told to me in my near-death experience was that when we love ourselves, all is well and all is coming. And this was a conversation I was having between me and Source, really me and my higher self. And I was told that the key to my healing, but also the key to true well-being, was to love myself. And then the second part that was said, and I really just remembered this because there was a lot that happened in the near-death experience. So when you're in the non-physical realm, which is the time is not linear. And so it's not like you say this and then you say this and you say this and you say this, like we follow our conversations now. It's really a lot of things are happening. It's not just something that's being said. It's more things you feel in your energy, in your vibration. It's kind of things that are telepathically communicated. There are things that span timelines. There are things that it's just really a lot. And so I was just over the years, I recall things that I might not have even remembered happen. I was like, oh my God, yeah, this was a part of my near-death experience. And this is one of those things that I'm remembering was told to me, and that I now have a whole bunch of experiences in my life to be able to speak about it more, especially teach it. And that was it told me not just loving yourself is the key to truly healing and experiencing well-being, but that when we love ourselves, all is well and all is coming. So I want to break that down for you a little bit and really talk to you about why when we love ourselves, all is well and all is coming and what that actually means. So the all is well part of our lives, and I see a lot of you all joining. And so if you all are here, by the way, you have any questions for me, please put your questions in the comments. I'll be answering some of your questions after I talk about this. So if you have any questions that you want me to address around the topic of whatever, self-love, healing, transformation, manifestation, put that down in the comments and I'll address them when we get to the question portion. So all is well when we love ourselves. Remember, loving yourself is aligning yourself with the vibration of love, with the energy of love. So it's aligning and vibration. And what I mean by vibration is you heard me talk a little bit about vibration and energy, but vibration is translates to really to an emotional feeling. So it's energy, but it's really kind of how you feel internally. And so, and why that's important is because your internal state of being, meaning how you feel and what you think, especially what you think and how you feel about yourself, determines your internal state of being, but also what you think and how you feel about the world determines that. But your internal state of being and your habitual, like the things that you, how you feel and think consistently. So your belief systems is kind of what you think consistently, and your and how you feel, like how your habit of feeling, your mood really determines your internal state of being, determines your external state of being, which means how you're feeling and the vibration you're carrying within you is literally what shapes and creates your reality. It shapes and creates and attracts and manifests the relationships that show up for you and how the people act when they get in those relationships with you. It shapes and creates the type of events that happen for you. It shapes and creates your relationship with money. And it also, your body's health is a reflection of your internal state, right? So if you're having an illness or disease, it's not a punishment towards you or a betrayal by your body. It's literally a reflection and an indicator of what's going on in your internal state. So when we love ourselves, when we begin to align ourselves with the vibration of love, and when we, and again, one thing I want to talk about with love as well is love is a multifaceted vibration. We have a lot of different, there's a lot of different conversations about love in our societies and our cultures that aren't really what love is, or that have collapsed love down to like a very small thing. And so we really don't understand the fullness of it. And I got a glimpse of it when I was in my near-death experience, but really, the real understanding of the many facets of love, of the energy of love, came when my intuitive gifts opened. And I began to literally see the energy of the soul, which is the soul is literally the energy of love. I began to begin to channel and have conversations with Source about this. And so my understanding of it expanded. And like many of us, my understanding initially about love was that it was affection. Right. So that's what a lot of us have been either taught or trained or conditioned to view love as. It's like affection. It's like if somebody loves you, then that means they're either attracted to you, sexually, or they hug you and they care about you and they appreciate you and they accept you for who you are. And those are aspects of love. Those are facets of it. But that's not the full range of what love is. And again, we literally are, each one of us, no matter how we look, no matter where we live, no matter what money we have in the bank account or don't have, no matter what our sexuality is, no matter what our current health status is, no matter who you are, each one of us is a physical manifestation of love energy. And love energy and God energy are the same thing. You are literally physical manifestations of what we call God, but what I now know is literally love energy. And We are physical manifestations of that. So understanding what that actually is really helps you understand yourself more and helps you understand why loving yourself is very important, because it's literally you giving yourself back to yourself, right? And so again, love is more than just affection, although affection and all that and acceptance and appreciation is a facet of love. Another part of the energy of love is freedom, the feeling of freedom. Another aspect of the energy of love is worthiness. And I'll be talking a lot about worthiness throughout this year and doing many shows on worthiness, because we are really not taught really what worthiness is. And so a lot of us talk about, and even in my beginning of my journey, I used to teach this. I used to teach more when I was talking about worthiness. What I was really meaning was deservedness. And deservedness and worthiness are two totally different things. Deservedness is really based upon you feeling like you deserve to receive something because of something you've done, right? So I may believe I deserve to be a smaller size because I've been eating less and I've been working out. Or I may believe that I deserve money because I've been working really, really, really hard, right? And that's deservedness. Deservedness ties into, again, an action. Worthiness, though, is totally different, because worthiness says you are already fully deserving whether you do anything or not. And this is something to really understand, because love energy, which is the source of all good things and is the experience of all well-being, it's flowing to you always. It is flowing to everybody always, no matter what you do or don't do, whether you do anything differently or you don't do anything differently, it's always flowing to you. Just like the sun is shining, it's not requiring us to like bow down to us. It's not requiring us to do anything different for it to shine. It shines on everybody equally, all the same. And if the sun is not, like, if we're not receiving sunlight, it's not because the sun is not shining. It's because something is blocking the sun, right? Something may be, we may be underneath a tree and so we're getting shadow, or the earth may have rotated where we live. It may rotate it a little bit to where we're not in the direct sun's light, but the sun never goes out. The sun is always shining. That's literally an example of worthiness. You are always deserving of whatever you desire, whether you do anything or not, just because you are an extension of love energy. You're an extension of God. You are a manifestation of this. So, and I see all of you all's questions. I know some of your questions are coming in, so I'll answer those when I get to the question and answer period. But I do see them. I just wanted to say, hey, I see your questions, and I'll get to them later. So worthiness, literally, there is only well-being and good flowing to you at all times. But the channel that you have, you're a channel of love energy into the world. You're a channel of God energy into the world. And just like kind of a channel, it's like a filter. So your filter determines what consistency of love energy shows up in your life, as your life, and kind of what that experience of it is. So just like a filter, if my filter is dirty, like if I'm pouring water and I have a glass here and I have a filter over the glass, right? And water is pouring through this filter into this glass, and only water is pouring. There's nothing else but water pouring into this glass, right? I don't have Coke in here. I don't have orange juice. It's just water. So let's say the water represents the universal love energy, right? That's all that's pouring through. You're the filter, right? And then your life is the cup here. Most of us are drinking this cup and we're saying, this kind of tastes like motor oil. My life doesn't taste like pure water. It's got a gritty, nasty taste. It's not because of the water. The water is pure and there's nothing in it, but it's because of the filter. And most of our filters have some dirt in them. And they have some gunk around them, and it's changing the quality of the water that comes through and shows up in the cup, which is our lives. And so what I mean by gunk in them is a lot of us, and you've heard me talk a lot about trauma. A lot of us have unhealed trauma, which was a lot of us in our childhood, some way, were made to believe something is wrong with us somehow. So we have a feeling and a belief that we're not enough and there's something wrong with us. We have a feeling and a belief that we're not safe in the world. The world's not a fully safe place to be, and so especially to be all of ourselves. And we have a belief that our needs aren't going to be met; they're not going to be fully met. And so this develops all these different behaviors that we have to try and prove that we're enough, or try to get approval from others. It also develops all this other crazy stuff where we try to control things to try and be safe. We collapse our lives down because we fear the world. And so, again, when we talk about, remember when I said your internal state determines your external state? This is what I'm talking about. So, only good is flowing to you, right? This is what worthiness is about. Only good is flowing through you. Your filter, though, is so if you ask for something or you want something, and you have a filter that says you're not enough, then that energy gets filtered through you, right? So life happens through you first. It comes to you. Sorry, I got the streaming got interrupted here. So if I have dirt on my filter, and I hope I can see your comments. Somehow when it got interrupted, the comments are not showing up here again. I'm going to have to look at your comments because I know I saw some of your questions there. But anyway, the filter, when the water pours through the filter, if I have a filter that says I'm not good enough and I'm not attractive enough, right? Then all of the relationships that come to me have to mirror back my feeling of not being good enough and not being attractive enough. If I believe that if my filter says I have to work really hard in order to get money, then there may be an abundance of money coming to me, right? Flowing to me for worthiness purposes. Again, there's only well-being and good flowing to me. But I have collapsed that down because of my filter says I can only receive money when I work really, really, really hard. And maybe I have a belief that as soon as I get it, it goes out. Like I don't have enough. So that's the experience that I have. And the thing is not to change the water. Because that's what we've been trained to do. We've been trained to kind of change the water, or change or try to fight the cup, right? Well, there's something wrong with this cup, right? There's something wrong with this cup, or there's something wrong with the water, is how we've been trained to think about this. But the actual fact is there's nothing wrong with the cup and there's nothing wrong with the water. It's just the filter's not cleaned. And when we begin to clean our filter, then we begin to get more of an experience of the good flowing through our lives in like the clean, clear water. So you get to drink more clean, clear water in your health, in your relationships, in your money, and your whole entire life. And what loving yourself actually does, what the practice of loving yourself does, is it cleans the filter so that your internal state, it no longer has unhealed trauma in it. It doesn't have fear in it. It doesn't have shame in it. And so the good, that the universal energy that's flowing through you doesn't get filtered through that, and doesn't have to be reflected back into your life experience. Because again, your life experience is only a reflection of your internal state of being. It's only a reflection of the beliefs you hold and how you feel. Right? How you feel about yourself and how you feel about the world. Okay, great. My stuff is coming back in. I can see your questions. So that's all it is. And when we begin to love ourselves, it cleans that filter. And so all of the dysfunction that we have that's manifesting in our lives, and the illnesses and the diseases, begin to dissipate. They begin to release, and only well-being starts to flow. And this is why when we love ourselves, that part, all is well. This is where it comes from. And so again, loving ourselves is more than just affection. It's also doing what we can to feel the energy of freedom. It's doing what we can to feel the energy of ease, because love feels like the vibration of love also feels like ease and freedom and worthiness. It feels like, it feels like joy. Joy is a facet of the vibration of love. And it also feels like empowerment. It feels like empowerment. and it feels like safety. So these are the type of the energies that are parts of love. And so if we're not feeling like that internally, if we don't feel safe, we don't feel empowered, if we're not happy, and again, not like you don't have to do this 100% of the time, right? Because this is part of the human experience to have challenges and then to realign yourself with the vibration of love to solve those challenges and become a higher expression of yourself. So it's not to 100% of the time always be in alignment with the vibration of love and always feel those things: freedom, ease, joy, um, appreciation, acceptance, which are parts of worthiness, and empowerment and safety. It's not to always feel that 100% of the time, but the predominant time of your life needs to be in alignment with that. And the practice of love is making sure every day you are doing something to become more in alignment with those feelings. Because that's what love is. That's the energy of love. And when you're in alignment with those feelings, what that means is your filter is cleaner and you're letting more of the energy of love through you so that your life reflects that. So that your life now reflects ease and safety and joy. Because remember, that's the only energy that's pouring through you. And if you have something in your internal state that's blocking it or that's dirtying it up, then what's showing up as your outer life is only a reflection of what's going on with your filter. That's it. And loving yourself helps you clean your filter so that you have a higher experience of well-being, because that's literally what all those things are. That's what when I say when people ask me kind of if there's one kind of word that I would use to describe what love energy really is, to me it's well-being. Well-being is probably the closest word that we have that really describes the entirety of the experience of love energy. It is well-being. It is all things associated with well-being. And so that's all that literally flows. That's the only energy that's flowing to you. And your experience of well-being in your life is not because it's not coming. It's not because you haven't asked for it enough. It's not because you haven't prayed for it hard enough, or that you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve it. Because you're worthy of well-being already, and you will always be worthy of well-being, no matter what you do or don't do, no matter what's happened or hasn't happened. Your worthiness never gets diminished, and it can never expand. It is the same across your entire life, across the infinite terms of your being as a soul. You are always wholly, infinitely worthy. But your experience of your worthiness is based upon really your internal state of being, what you're holding. And so loving yourself helps you heal that and helps you kind of clear it so that you let more well-being through. So this is why when you love yourself, all becomes well, because you begin to have a internal state of being that is in aligned, that is based on love energy. You believe in your worthiness. You feel free. You feel safe. You're doing what you can to feel at ease. You feel more empowered, and all of this begins to flow through you and begins to manifest as your life experiences, as your reality. The second part of this, actually, before I get into this, let me answer some questions. So before I get into the part that says, so that's why when you love yourself, all is well. I'll explain why all is coming in just a second. I'm going to read some of you all's questions here. So someone says, so Deborah says, I ask a lady to stop touching me at work and she won't. So I don't know what to do next. She is the manager. So I would, so again, this is about, a part of loving yourself is clearly communicating your boundaries, and also not just clearly communicating your boundaries, and your boundaries are what's okay with you, what's not okay with you, what's acceptable behavior towards you, and what's not acceptable behavior towards you. And not just communicating that, but also communicating the consequence for that, right? For not honoring that. So if I say this is acceptable behavior towards me, like not, let's say not touching me is acceptable behavior towards me and continuing to touch me is unacceptable behavior towards me. Hey, sorry guys, I keep getting disconnected. So hopefully, you all can still see this, you can hear this, but, not just that I've communicated, this is how I feel when you touch me and this is what it makes me feel like, but also if this is my boundary. I do not like to be touched. And I don't want to be touched. And if you continue to touch me, here's the consequence for that, right? So the consequence may be I'm going to go to human resources. So if it's the manager, then go to human resources. And because human resources is usually in places of business, it's usually the people that control all things, whether it's a supervisor or a manager or lower level employee or whatever. They're the people that when it comes to behavioral things like that, they take care of that. So I would find my human resources people and I would go and communicate that to them and communicate with them that you've had this conversation already about what your boundaries were and that they're still being continued to be dishonored. And if there's not any kind of resolution that happens with that, then it may be time, it may be a signal from your soul that it's maybe time for you to find different work. But I would do that first. A step in your power, you're feeling empowered. So I talked about empowerment being a part of the energy of the soul, and the love energy. So part of your power is using your voice, right? Using your voice and communicating what your truth is, which is what's okay with you and what's not, and protecting your truth, which is here are the consequences. And if your truth is being, uh, dishonored, then part of protecting your truth is going to the human resources and reporting this incident. So, again, you guys, every time something happens with this internet service, it blanks out the comments for a second until another one of you comments. So, in order to show your questions, could somebody just put a comment? You can give me a little heart in the comment or a thumbs up. You don't have to say anything. I just want it to pop up. I want to help show the comments come up, and apparently it only comes up again after we've had this kind of lull in the internet connection after you all comment something. So if you're watching still, okay, thank you. Just got a little heart there. Got it. So yeah, so if you've already stated that and all of that, it's time to go to human resources. Um, and okay, so I'll do one more question before I go into the second part of this. A lot of you all are saying, yeah, you're an extension of love energy. Absolutely. That's exactly what you are. You are literally a physical incarnation of love energy. This is what I saw in my near death experience. I was told this about my own self, but after my intuitive gifts opened, so I'm in what's called an energy intuitive, and I can see energy. I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it. And I communicate with it. I communicate with not just people's energies that are human and physical, but I also communicate with non-physical energies. So those are people's loved ones who have passed on, and then higher consciousness energies as a channel. And one thing I have heard, I've never heard anything different, and I've never seen anything different, and I've never felt anything different. Whether I was reading a person's energy that when I've done thousands of readings by now. When I used to do readings primarily as my work, and I've never seen someone's soul who's not a manifestation of love energy, even if they were like a criminal or they've done something horrific in this timeline. It's not because they weren't love energy; it was because they were very disconnected from that. And also, all of the people I've spoken to who have transitioned to the other side, they are love energy as well, and they're more of that now because when you transition over to the other side, you leave behind your physical body, and you leave your belief systems behind, you leave your race behind, you leave your gender behind, and you leave all these things to kind of limit you and can kind of what's the word? Separates you from the experience, and you become the wholeness of yourself. You become the wholeness of love energy. So all of us are love energy. Okay, so one more question before I go into this. Let's see. How does one, so Shaniqua, I hope I'm, or Shanika or Shaniqua, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly when it's one of the two. How does one truly begin the journey to self love? I read and hear that it's a mental shift, but I feel it's more than that. So, and I'm literally, this is a great question, you guys. In April, I'm literally offering a 6 session online course called How to Begin the Miraculous Journey of Loving Yourself. I'm going to be announcing that pretty soon. We're working on kind of all the logistics and the stuff on my website to get it out and to do that. But I'm literally in a few weeks, I'm going to be announcing that. I'm doing a whole class on this. We're going to dive really deep on this. So I'm glad you asked that question because I get asked that question a lot, especially because I talk so much about it. And I didn't know how to do it when I first started. And I learned a lot about what it is and what it isn't. So one, watch out for the class. Number two, what I would say when you think about loving yourself, instead of behavior, more think of energy. It's more about how you feel than what you're doing. And what you want to feel. So remember those things I listed out: safety, ease, worthiness, um, freedom, empowerment, joy. Those are all aspects of love. And so how can I live my life? What do I need to think about myself? And how do I need to behave and act within my life so that I feel more of those things more of the time? And one of the questions to really start that is, where do I not feel those things? Right? Where do I not feel safe? Where do I not feel free? Where do I not feel happy and joyous? Where am I not at ease? Where do I not feel like with worthiness? It could be, where do I not feel good about myself? And where do I not feel empowered? Right? And what can I do to feel more of these things? Right? And you don't have to do all of these things at once. You can take, 2 of them at a time to focus on. But so I want to feel more empowered. I want to feel more at ease. Where am I not feeling empowered? Where am I not at ease? And literally take some time to meditate, because you have infinite wisdom within you. Your soul is literally a piece of God. It is infinite wisdom. It knows everything, and it knows you intimately. It knows not just what you really want, but it knows the shortest path to get you there, and it knows how to heal whatever you're facing. And so I highly recommend spending some time with your soul, like doing some meditations or whatever, and asking yourself, what is 2 things I can do right now to feel more empowered and more at ease? Or what are 2 things I can do right now to feel better about myself? What are 2 things I can do right now to be happier? And that's a practice in your self-love. So when you're thinking about energy, it's about feeling better within you, right? And how you love yourself is going to look different than how I love myself. It's going to look different than how my neighbor looks at myself. Because again, it's not behavior. So it's not do this, and this, and this is loving yourself. It's about doing whatever, developing a daily practice and habit of doing whatever you can to align yourself with a vibration of love. And that's going to look different for everybody, right? But whatever your soul says. So like for me, something that helps me, I do a daily appreciation exercise. I have an appreciation journal where I write down every morning 10 things that I love about myself and that I really appreciate about myself and that are going well in my life. And I can feel, as I do that, I feel the appreciation energy rise in me, right? And one of the things also with loving yourself is to stop shaming yourself. Stop, it's also about what you stop too. So not just the energy, but also what you stop, right? So what do you need to stop doing? And anywhere where you're shaming yourself, you want to stop that. Like anywhere you're telling yourself something's wrong with you or that you're not good enough, you just want to stop that self-talk. You just want to stop that self-talk, right? And I did a video. So if you look at my YouTube channel, I did a video a while back entitled "How to Begin Loving Yourself," and I give some examples on and some exercises on how to do that as well. So if you go and look at my YouTube channel, you'll you'll find out some very practical exercises that you can start right away that will help you begin that journey. But also keep a lookout for my class. And again, it's an online class. You can take this class in the comfort of your homes. You all are going to really enjoy it. But also, again, remember, it's not so much behaviors, but there will be behaviors that you will be doing. But you want to think energy. How can I feel more of the energy? Um, let's see, one more before I go. PJ is asking, what self activities should I do while I recover from surgery? Lack of self love certainly played a part in my body developing an illness which attacked my left fallopian tube and caused it to become necrotic. It had to be removed. I don't want kids, so it's not a big deal, but I've got to heal my body. So, the healing of the body, and I've talked a lot about this before, and I'm going to talk in more depth with this. I'm going to be offering classes and workshops on this, you guys, and even retreats for those for you that need to heal. I've got a lot of stuff coming out this year, to go in depth, to really help you all, just besides these videos, to give you hands-on, in-person, um, really wisdom and techniques and activities to help you in your healing journey and your transformational journey, whether you're trying to heal something from your body or in your life. But the body, really the greatest thing you can do to help your body heal itself is to charge life force energy through it. And life force energy is also the same as love energy. So you're going to hear me kind of use those both terms a lot. But they're the same thing. Life force energy and love energy are the same. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to finish this quick because the internet connection keeps going down. But life force energy is kind of like a car. And like your gasoline fuels the car, and your car can't run well without gasoline. And if you try to run it without gasoline, when it goes down, like you have a gas tank and you have an indicator on how full that gas tank is, and the lower you go in gas, your car actually starts to damage your car. Like if you run low on gas, you consistently drive low on gas, it actually starts to tear up your car a little bit. And if you continue to go low and you're running on fumes, your car's going to stop, right? It's going to stop running altogether. This is very similar to how our bodies work. Our bodies need life force energy, and our bodies need our life force energy to be charged and full. That's when they are their healthiest, and that's when they run the best. And you hear a lot of people talking about vibration. This is when your vibration is the highest. When your body is charged with life force energy, your vibration is going to be the highest. You're going to be at the highest frequency of yourself. When your body starts to get low on life force energy, when we deplete or drain ourselves of life force energy in some way, when we've been overwhelmed, when we feel ashamed of ourselves, or when we're really afraid in our lives, when we are in imbalanced relationships where we're giving out too much and we're not receiving back enough, when we're overgiving, period, right? And I was raising my hand. I was a chronic overgiver, and that's how I became ill. That's one of the aspects of why I became ill, not just the only one, but it's one of the big reasons why. But when we overgive and we don't receive back, all of this type of stuff, right? When we're stressed, when we're doing work we don't really love to do, and that stresses us out, and we don't enjoy it, and all these other types of things, this drains and depletes our energy. And it drains and depletes life force energy from us. And when we do this habitually and chronically, then it's like literally driving the car and not fueling, excuse me, not fueling the car back up. And it's going to come to E. And just like the indicator in the car, the illness is an indicator from our body that we are running too low on life force energy, and we need to stop doing what we're doing and living the way we're living, and begin to change our lives to where we live a life that continues to fuel life force energy through us. So to answer your question, PJ, I would do things now, make my entire focus on doing things that charge my life force energy. And what really charges the life force energy, right? So what drains the life force energy are things related to like stress, things that are related to shame and fear. right? So those three things really are what drain the life force energy from us. There are some other aspects, but those are the three major kind of things that will drain the fuel that our body needs to be well. Like life force energy is literally the determining factor of your health. More than the food you're eating, more than all of that, your life force energy is what determines the state of your health. Like how much of it you have in you and what your relationship is to it. So that's what drains it. What charges it is things related to joy and love. So when we hang out with people that we really love to be around, that make us laugh and that we feel loved and we received affection by, that charges life force energy through us. When we do things we're passionate about, not just work, but like have fun, things that are really fun for you, things that feel pleasurable for you, things that, bring a sense of joy and breathe life through you, right? When we do things like for me, walking in nature will charge your life force energy. Eating foods that you believe are good for you to eat. Again, it's more so about your beliefs than it is like a checklist of things. But like, what do you believe is really healthy for you? And again, go in with your soul. Ask your soul, what can you eat right now to help you heal? Right? And listen to that more than you listen to anybody else. Even a doctor's advice. Your soul knows more than anyone on the planet what you need for your healing. So listen and listen. Well, it may feel like, maybe I need to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and less meat. Maybe it says I need to eat more clean meat and maybe get some green juice in. Maybe it says I don't need any of that right now. I really need to be with my friends more. Whatever that is, same thing. Go into a meditation and ask your soul what it is you can be doing to help your body heal. Talk to your body. Ask your body, especially the specific area of your body that is affected. Like one thing I used to do a lot was I would ask my kidneys, what do they need for me to heal? And they would tell me a lot of different things in the beginning. And the more I began to do those things, the better my body became. Like rest. And I would say, you need to chill out more. You need to stop being so afraid. And when I started working on those things, I began to see tremendous improvements in my health. But ask your body. But again, I would make the entirety of your situation about charging your life force energy and doing whatever that is that helps fuel your life force energy. Because the more your life force energy is charged up, your body will begin to respond. Because again, your life force energy is what fuels health through your body. It's what makes your immune system work. It's what heals things miraculously. It's literally the key to your healing is to live a life and to have it prolonged, not just to charge it today and then go back to depleting your life force energy tomorrow, but have a prolonged period of time where you're charging your life force energy. Just because, I've been in time with this and we've been breaking up so much, so I'm going to go to the last portion of what the video was initially about, which is when we love ourselves, all is well and all is coming. So I talked about the all is well part. The all is coming part is loving yourself literally puts you in the state of receiving. And PJ says she'd love to come to my retreat. I will be giving information about that out as well. It'll be in the fall of this year. So I'll be speaking about that soon and sending out newsletters and doing videos and all of that for all of you all. It will be a very intimate retreat, so it'll be a smaller group between about 10 to 20 people. But you all will be getting information about how you can register and sign up for that as well. And I hope that helped you. So the all is coming thing is loving ourselves puts us in the state of receiving. So it literally opens our channels up more so that the good that the universe is always flowing to us and the good so this is an ask and it's given universe. So what that means is anytime you ask for something and you don't have to ask for it with your words, you literally ask for it with your energy. And so anytime you see something, like something comes up and you have a preference, right? So that preference could be something's going on with my car and I want my car to be fixed. And you don't even need to say it out with your mouth, but just your energy says, I would prefer for my car to be fixed. Something's going on with your body. I would prefer a healthier health status with this. I would prefer my relationship to work smoothly or whatever. Anytime you send out a signal, the universe gets that energetic signal. Again, the universe is responding way more to your energy than it is to your words. So the universe gets that energetic signal from you, and it provides it immediately energetically. There is no lack of time between the time you ask for it and when the universe gives it to you. The time that we see between you, the universe giving it, and you actually receiving it, has to do with how much of in the receiving mode are you. So you may there's a, it's not because you don't deserve it. It's because you may not be in the receiving mode to let that come through you. Again, life happens through you. It's not happening to you. It's not happening from outside of you to you. Again, universal energy is the source of everything, and you are a channel of that energy for that energy to come through you and into your life as your life. So if you're not in a receiving mode, if again, going back to the filter, if your filter is too dirty, right? So if you say, I want a really loving, beautiful, delicious, fulfilling relationship, but you believe you're not attractive and you're not worthy of a relationship and you're not, relationships are too hard or all of that, then that your filter is too dirty to allow the fulfilling relationship that the universe has provided to you to come through yet. So you have to do some work to clean up your filter. And that's what loving yourself does, right? Loving yourself is part of the practice of loving yourself is to remove all the unloving beliefs that you have and all the feelings, the internal feelings that you have about yourself that you're not enough or that you're not worthy of what you want yet, right? Same thing with money. You want more money. You want a lot of money. Well, what's your filter? Like, do you have beliefs that you can't make money as who you are, or you're not smart enough to make money, or money is for those people over there, but not for you? Like, that's a filter that keeps you from receiving. So your receiving channel is closed down, right? So how it kind of looks, again, it's the filter and then it's also a channel. So and this is a lot like the chakra system. That's basically what the chakras are, the channels for the universal energy to flow through you. So what happens is when we come in, your channels are wide open because you're really in alignment with who you are. You believe in your worthiness. You know freedom is the order of the day. You're happy. You feel loved. And then you become socialized and traumatized out of connection with yourself. And your channel begins to close down. It cannot be completely shut off because if it's completely shut off, then that's when you die. Because you need love energy, you need universal energy to actually live, right? To actually even still be here. But you can close your channel down, right? A lot. And so when we have these things and we close the channel down, then all of that good stuff can't come through. Right? And so just a little bit comes here and there every once in a while. When the natural order of things is good stuff is supposed to flow through your life consistently and frequently and in abundance, right? And the key to that is to open your channels. And the more you love yourself, the more you do this work, the more your channels start to open and the more the stuff you've been dreaming of just starts to show up. I mean, in my journey, when I started with this journey, I was really sick and my life was really dysfunctional. Not just in my body, but just in my relationships, in my money, I was just dysfunctional. And I had all this stuff that I wanted that wasn't coming, and I was trying to work and push and force. And when I began to do the work of loving myself, and the deeper and deeper I went, the more ease things began to manifest for me. Right? We teach all these things about these, in the spiritual and new thought and self-help and new age worlds about like vision boards and manifestation exercises and all this. And it's really trying to force and push things. Those things are trying to force and push things into manifestation, which is why I don't teach them anymore. Because what I've found, and not just in my own life, but in my clients, all the clients I've worked with have had similar stories, is if you would just make your focus on doing the work of loving yourself, you automatically start to receive stuff. And it's better than you could have ever imagined. And you didn't have to force, you didn't have to do tricks, you didn't have to do all these tools and dance in the moonlight with incense sticks and all that. And I'm not like trashing that stuff because I get as woo woo as any other person out there. I do all kinds of stuff, but it's not necessary. You don't have to make the universe be good to you anymore because you realize that it's always trying to be good to you and that good is only flowing to you. And you just work on allowing yourself to receive it. You work on being in an energetic state that allows all of that to come through. And when you begin to love yourself, all of that stuff starts to come. Your dreams, your prayers, your stuff you put on vision boards from years ago, it just starts to flow. And it wasn't something you had to force. It was that you are now an open channel to let the good flow through you. And that's the key. And I'm not just like saying philosophically or, anything like that. This is the real true key. And this is what I was told in my near-death experience that it took me many years afterwards to try to learn. Because I had a lot of socialization and traumatization in my head that I thought you had to make good stuff happen. And what I now realize is you just got to let it. Like the universe is not asking you to jump through hoops to receive the good that you desire. It is not asking you to be somebody different or to do all of these, because again, this goes back to worthiness and deservedness. The universe is not asking you to get to a point to where you deserve, because the universe already loves you and already believes you deserve everything you want. And without you are worthy. You are worthy. You don't have to do anything else, right? You don't have to have another degree or do all these other things to succeed or do all these other things in order to be beautiful enough to receive the love that you want. You don't have to do that, right? You're just telling yourself because you've been socialized to believe you've got to be different. You're not enough as you are right now to receive the good that you want. But the universe says you are good enough right now. You are enough. Right? But you have to open your channel to be able to receive what the universe has already given to you. The universe cannot force it through you. It will not. This is what free will is all about. You get to choose the life experience you have, and you choose it based upon not just what you're asking for, which is a part of it, but also what you're allowing yourself to receive. What are you allowing yourself to receive? And the more you do the work of loving yourself, the more you open yourself up and you place yourself in the state of receiving so that good just flows to you and through you on a consistent and frequent basis. My life is miraculous today. And for a lot of people that look at my life from the outside, they can't understand, like, how are you getting all this stuff? Like, you don't work as hard as this person. How is all this? These things manifest for you really easily because I do the work of loving myself every day, every day, every day. My main intention is to love myself and to make sure that I am in alignment with the energy of love every day. And the more I do that, some days I do great, some days not so great. But, when I do it and I keep it prolonged, and again, for a prolonged period of time, this is the key, prolonged, the longer you can do it, and, you string days together where you are loving yourself, the better. Then stuff manifests more easily for me now. Things heal more quickly for me now. Things transform for me more miraculously and easily now. And it's not because I'm special. It's not because the universe loves me more than anybody else. I am loved as equally as everybody else. So it's just that I am doing the work of loving myself. And when you do this work, you will have the same results. If you want to know how to do the work or if you want help, this is what I'm here for. Reach out, have a private session with me. This is exactly what I do with my clients. I teach them how to do a deeper practice of loving themselves so that they can heal whatever they want to heal. They can transform whatever they want to transform, or they can manifest whatever they want to manifest. This is the key. You have to love yourself like Anita Morjani says. You have to love yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. It really does. If you want all to be well in your life, loving yourself is the path and the key. If you want all to come, like all of the stuff you've been wanting and dreaming about to start coming, loving yourself is the key. So I hope this has helped you all. I will see you again next Sunday. Stay on. Oh, by the way, stay on the lookout for my page. I've just started the countdown to a milestone birthday for me, which is my 40th birthday. Today marks 38 days till my birthday. I started yesterday, which was 39 days to my last 39 days of being 39 until I'm 40. And I started doing a countdown on my page. So if you haven't seen it, watch my page every day. I'm going to be sharing a picture somewhere during the timeline of the last 39 years of my life, and sharing with you all some of the lessons I've learned through my life through these pictures, and some things that I really, have. It's fun for me to do, and I hope it's helpful for you to see and to read. So check out my page for that. Until next time, you all, I love you. Now go love yourself. Bye.